Alright guys, it is day 2 working on the pit bike. What we're going to be doing today is we got to change the oil real quick, and we have to look at our clutch. So when we pulled this thing out of storage, I went to pull my clutch in and it was not pulling the, it wasn't working. So I had to see why it wasn't doing that. I tried, when I rode up here, trying to reuse the clutch and all that, and it would not do anything. It just kept on wanting to pull. So we got it in here, and it seemed after I rocked it a few times that like it broke loose or something. But it finally started working again. But I wasn't really happy with why that was doing that. So we're gonna pull our cover off. We did put a heavy duty clutch in it last year. So I just want to make sure everything's good. Everything's still tight. We'll look at our plates and all that, see if they just need to be cleaned a little bit. Since we're in there, we got a new gasket, so when we go to put it back together, we'll put a fresh gasket. And it doesn't really matter since we're going to be changing oil anyways, they're going to be right there. So, not a big deal. Alright guys, so we got the oil filter out. And what you're going to want to do is take that whole plate off. So you'll have a screw on each side here, then you'll have your two underneath here to your peg mount. So don't try just taking these off and pushing it down and try sneaking those bolts out. It won't be worth it. You'll make a huge mess. So don't do that. So we already got our new oil filter in, so now we're gonna go into checking our clutch out. Alright. So I've only done this once. So one nice thing, it looks like all your screws, or bolts I mean, are the same size, so you don't have to worry about keeping those in order. We still did though. And then as far as this coming off, we got a cable we gotta snake out here. Other than that, sometimes you might need a little, so you push your brake down, put a little angle on that, and we're good. So try to keep this from knocking any dirt into your motor here. So alright, I'm going to take these little screws off. I'll have to look and see what the torque specs are, because I'm sure these are supposed to be torqued down to a certain size or spec. That's just a plastic gear there. Alright. So we had torn our gasket last time we did this, but we didn't have an extra because I didn't even think about buying a new one. So we tried RTVing it with blue RTV, and it ended up being way too messy. And actually, since our gasket had only broken 2 spots, we just kind of made it look nice and put it back on there and bolted everything down, and it was good. Another thing I recommend, which I didn't do this time, is take your bolts out evenly, not all one at a time. But we'll be okay. But we are going to move this so if things do pop out, we are not fishing out in dirty oil. Oh yeah, I remember this now. This was fun. So, as far as everything here looked just fine till I dropped it and put it all over the ground and got it dirty. So we'll figure out how that goes back together. Our heavy duty springs. Alright. Alright, so we are looking at our fibers and our steel plates here, and so far they do not look bad. So there's, you can see, if you can see in the video or not, there's a little dirt, but there's hardly anywhere. There's nothing showing that they got hot. They bounce really good. Okay, so this one's got a little bit to it, but again, nothing bad. And I'm not going to cycle that one in because now I'm going to have to wipe it down. But everything seems to be fine with these. So they look like they've taken a little wear already, but like I said, nothing crazy. So we're going to get this one cleaned up, and then we will show you how we put it back together. Alright, make sure you focus when I'm doing. Alright, so we are going to drop this back in here now. There we go. So we got that in there like that. So you didn't see us, but we had to take this nut off too, so it would slide on. You kind of just do this together when you put it on. It's like so. And then this nut here went on this guy here. And then this guy goes just... Oop. See, I already messed up. Pull that off. Alright guys, so I came to the conclusion it was just 10 times easier to actually put all your clutches on here instead of trying to stack them all in there and then push that in. So, should just drop. Alright, so we're gonna tighten our nut up here by hand, and they're saying 53 inch-pounds of torque. So we're going to do that. Make sure you're back in gear. Might have to spin it a little bit again. Okay, it should be in gear. That's saying that's tight. That's 53 inch-pounds. That does not seem tight enough. I am going to look into that. Alright, so I don't know what we did wrong the first time, but our plates weren't sucking up like they were supposed to. So we took it all apart, put it all back together, and now it's good. So when we were trying to torque this down, it does not seem like it was clicking. So now you can hear that's clicking, and we're doing these at 43 inch-pounds torque. And it should be good. Oop. That one's already done. I think we did all of them. We're going to double check it though. Alright, so that all looks good. My only concern, okay, those are all at 43 foot-pounds of torque. 43 inch-pounds of torque. So this is all buttoned up here. The only other thing is we're going to put a fresh gasket on here. The other thing you want to do is make sure that this flat piece is like that when you put it on, because what's going to happen is it's going to line up right on that, and that's what actually, as far as engages your clutch springs. So we're going to get that all cleaned up there and wipe out some of our dirty oil that we got settling here on the bottom. And alright, so we got the case back on, no issues. Got our gasket on, and the only thing left we gotta do is put our Kickstarter on and put our skid plate, and that will be about it. One of the things I do recommend is, you know, I know there's some, you know, AMS oil is really good, and I think there's Spectro, and then you'll usually have like your Kawasaki or your Yamalu brand or whatever. But we get these at Walmart, and it's by Valvoline, obviously, but it's, you know, it's a motorcycle oil, and it's actually the first time us using full synthetic. Usually we just go with the standard oil because we change it almost every ride. So the way I look at it is, if I'm changing it every ride, you know, that should be almost good enough than having to run it synthetic. So it's proven to be pretty good. I mean, this thing's got, you know, a hard 52 hours on it, and it's still got top of the line, you know, the compression's still all there. It runs really good. You might catch it puff just a, you know, a small amount of smoke on startup, and that's like you goose it and give it a little gas. But other than that, which could still just be like a little fuel buildup, but other than that, it runs real good. So that's about it. I'm gonna get this buttoned up, and then we already tried the clutch, and it's good. So that's about it for today. This bike will be ready to go. Our chain's already tight, and I'm gonna hope that that's supposed to be bent like that. I think it is. Alright. Our rear tire still has air in it, so that's good. We just got to air it down to about 20 psi now, just because we are a you know, heavier rider, and when you're running out there like with all the rocks and all that stuff, you want to run more air pressure. We tried going less, like if you were on a big bike and all that, and you end up just really popping tires and all that stuff. So we just run a little heavier weight in them, and yeah, you lose a little traction out of the deal, but beats popping tires and having to ride them back you know, with a flat tire, uphill, both ways. But yeah, that's about it. Maybe we'll throw a new plug in it. We gotta check that still, but other than that, that's no big deal. And I'm actually gonna do a separate video for you guys on the review on this BBR intake, to give you guys a little knowledge about it, if you're looking to buy. So look for that. I'll be putting that up. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys.